You said you wanted to get another fight in this year because your mom deserves a good Christmas present. You get the fight. What are you buying her?
Ah, man.
What up, Fightful fam? Shaquille Majui here. And the pandemic hasn't been great for everyone, but for this guy, it's been a lot of work and a lot of success. Casey Kenney off of 2 consecutive Fight Island outings. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, on top of the world right now. And, just
Truly.
like I was saying, join myself for a week or two, and then right back to it.
Right back to work. Now, what this is actually going to save you. I was going to save this question for the end of it, but since you've been on a little bit of a vacation, you always talk in the media about how all you do is fight and train. If you
Right.
go on your social media, if you go on Instagram, basically tells the same story. I want to challenge you to tell me 3 things that you like to do that have nothing to do with fighting.
All right, that's a pretty good challenge. Uh, One, I like to get out into nature.
Okay.
Go on some hikes, explore stuff. I'd say that's some of my go-to things. Two, I mean, this is about everybody, but good food and good drinks, good
Mm,
friends. The
facts.
whole normal vacation celebratory stuff. That's always good. Third one, man, I hang out. I got to hang out with my dog, play with him.
Very
Take him
nice.
to the park, that type of stuff.
What big dog, small dog, medium dog?
Big dog,
Of
pit
course.
bull, Rottweiler mix.
I don't think I've met a fighter who has a small dog. It just doesn't seem to be
Yeah,
simpatico with the
I
image.
like all dogs, but normally I've grown up with some big dogs. Got a
Yeah,
big dog now. That's I would say that's a good top three right there.
I like that. I like
Simple.
that.
Just keep it simple.
No, that's good, man. That's the best kind of living to do. Okay, so you're just getting back into the groove of things. You mentioned previously that you'd like to sneak in another fight in 2020. So I obviously have to ask you, how's it looking? What are the odds that you're going to get one more outing before the end of the year?
My manager texted me a couple days ago, and I said December 12th. So the bantamweight belt's on the line. I think it was 5 weeks from Saturday, and
Okay.
it took a couple weeks here, but I'm still in pretty good shape after the craziness in October. So 4 or 5 week camp sounds about perfect right now.
So at this point, it's basically your manager is reaching out to the UFC and trying to see if something can be put together.
Right.
Okay,
Pretty
sounds
much.
good.
I know they got a plan, they got things going on, but it was kind of like, when do you want to fight again? So gave him my honest answer there.
So at this point, I know I find you to be one of those fighters who's pretty much game for everything. But bantamweight is one of those divisions that you said earlier in this year you really want to see a little bit more shine on. And I feel like it's starting to get it because
Yeah.
John Anik said something on the broadcast that really resonated with me, which is Marlon Chito Vera is number 15
Yeah.
in the bantamweight division. Like that says it all in terms of just how deep the roster is. That someone as badass as Marlon Vera is just on the cusp of the rankings. And what that means for you, unfortunately, is there's a lot of competition to get that ranked position. Are
Right.
you shooting for a top 15 guy now, or are you willing to take on someone like Raoni Barcelos, who fought Odd Vegas 13, 15 and 1, or 16 and 1, 5 straight in the UFC? Another guy who's sort of jostling for a top 15 position.
Right. I think if I don't get a ranked guy, someone like that is kind of in the works, and that's kind of what I was saying. I got that question asked probably the most after, like, what
Mm-hmm.
do I want? Do I deserve the rankings? And you hit it on the head there with Cheeto Vera being number 15. You know, it's a tough, deep division, and you want to play games in those divisions. You're gonna have to do some extra stuff to get
Truly.
in those rankings. So I'm not too worried about jumping into the rankings. I think after all that, I do deserve somebody that's kind of where I'm at, or if not, a ranked opponent. But really, those numbers don't matter to me too much. Once you get in there, you get in the top 10, top five. It's easier to call some
For sure.
shots. Get where you want to go type of thing. But I'm up for it all at this point.
So since it's a little more abstract when you don't have a number next to the name, and you agreed on the Barcelos one, are there any other fighters in the bantamweight division who you think are sort of in the same realm of bubbling under the top 15 as you that you'd be interested in?
I'd have to sit down and kind of look at
Mhm.
some of the stuff. There's been a lot. I mean, I pay attention to it all, but see
There's a
where
lot of
guys are.
bantamweights.
There's a lot of bantamweights on that cusp. I know Jack Shore was one of them. That's kind of on the top of my head. Um, who is another one? I guess who Barcelos fought, that dude.
Kali Taha looked good, yeah.
Yeah, Taha was a good one. I was hoping to see Almeida make a big comeback, but is what it is. I guess Martinez is in there as well.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is on the rise that's not in the rankings. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Brian Kelleher. He had a loss, but he was kind of making some noise there for a little while. So that's what I mean. I'm up for it all, man. I feel like once I get a little bit more specific in the bantamweight division, I'll start calling some shots. Sure. But right now, there's so many opportunities. I don't need to miss any of them.
Exactly. And if it's not if bantamweight is not the division of right now, it is without a doubt the division of the future. And so it's great to see you mixing it up in there. You had, what was it? I think October 4th was your first Fight Island fight. October 24th was your second, right? 20 days apart?
Correct.
What did you learn from that experience? Because going into it, you said, you're still in good shape from your training camp before. And we know that MMA is a young sport, and optimization of training is still something everyone is experimenting with. Some people say they like the long layoffs because they can recover. Some people like quick turnarounds because they're always in fight mode. The idea of hard sparring all the time is sort of going away. Having that 3-week turnaround, what did you learn about it in regards to sort of the bigger scope of what optimal training is for you?
That, like in between, I didn't do any hard sparring. Kind of like you said, the training is going to a little bit smarter times than, having to kill yourself all the time. And in that little week span that I had, basically, I think it was 10 days I had before I left again. I took a few days of rest like I should have from that fight, but because of the situation, I had to jump right back into training. Probably would have took a little more time off in a normal circumstance, but I'm going to be ready when it's time. That's one thing that I do. Not everybody can deal with. I think that's what a lot of people need camps for. Some people need the long period to feel ready mentally, and most of it for me was just mental. It was a mental thing. Physically I was ready, made a couple adjustments, but I think what I took from it overall though is that I can do that anytime, any month out of the year, and not a lot of people can. And I think I've done short notice back-to-back fights before, but the traveling, the craziness with COVID, all that, I feel like I leveled up again on what I can do, what I'm capable of.
So if you had a perfect fight camp or sort of space between fights, like what is ideal for you? I mean, I know you're game for anything, but absolute best circumstance, how do you like to spread out your fights?
If I'm healthy and I get a week or two of doing my thing, resting, that type of thing, a 5-6 week camp is perfect.
Every
gives
2
me a
months
time
roughly, so we're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. Normal camp's 8 to 10 weeks, but I think where I'm at is like I'm kind of jumping right back in the training. Some people have the fight and then they got a month or two they're off.
Completely, yeah.
Still living life, still training to have fun and build stuff. Not really in the camp mode, but I only need 4, 5, 6 weeks to have a perfect camp there.
As we begin to wrap up here, and this is a question that is probably going to get people off this video, but I'm curious, as someone who has terrible back and neck problems, is that space foam pillow you bought any good?
It's good. I still sleep on it. It's comfy, man. It's worth a try. Right. Here they got comforters too.
That's all I needed to hear. And last thing, you said you wanted to get another fight in this year because your mom deserves a good Christmas present. You get the fight. What are you buying her?
Ah, man, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see if I think she's got a good Christmas present coming regardless. But we'll definitely up it there. Maybe nothing too crazy of a vehicle, but maybe like a small vehicle or something.
Wow.
I don't know. We'll see. I got to check mom out and see what she needs in her life.
Let's get a little fight night bonus too, just to sweeten the deal.
I'm always chasing bonuses, chasing checks. I think, like you said earlier, it's not a young man's game, or it's not an old man's game. So I'm still young, but I'm not getting any younger. That's for sure.
Although shout out to Glover Teixeira and Andrei Arlovski, crazy stuff this past Saturday.
Right. So I feel like I just put like, how long are you gonna fight? I always give them around the 40 age, but now you might have to put that up to 45 after watching those guys.
Possible. All right, Casey, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you. Fingers crossed you get that fight on December 12th. And I hear that McGregor and Poirier, they've officially been booked for UFC 247 in January, according to MMA Fighting. But apparently, Conor is still trying to get that push to December 12th now that they're only left with one headlining fight. So let's see. Casey Kenney, Conor McGregor, same card. I think it'd be a good time.
I think that would suit pretty well, man. That'd be good.
100%. Casey Kenney, thank you so much. And shout out to your mom's Christmas present. Merry Christmas.
For sure. Thanks, man.